Yeah, welcome to the Benin Empire Advancement League, the home of all the Benins. Um, sorry, the past few days or the past weeks, we haven't been online due to our busy schedule, you know, because we all are busy doing our job and also doing other things for the organization. So our timetable is relative uh, tight, so it's very difficult for us to be coming up online frequently as usual. But notwithstanding, we have been listening to all what is happening around us, and we understand uh, so many things and right now, and we are trying to figure out some things again, especially from our neighbors, the Yorubas, the Igbos, and the Hausas and Fulanis, all ethnic people of Nigeria. The election, House of Assembly election, is taking place today, and I hope everywhere is quiet, and I hope everybody is conducting itself quietly, especially in Lagos. And I hope everybody is trying to maintain peace as it's supposed to be. Yes, my main purpose of coming out today is just of recent what has been going on social media. Um, for example, the issue with the Freeze and his co-host, and some of our people too, some of our Islam brothers and sisters who believe distorting the Benin Empire history. We give them glory, we give them, we feed their hearts. But I'm here to tell you today, you are making a big mistake, especially the people of Lagos, not people of Lagos, that the Freeze and his co-host, because we have to differentiate these people from other people. We have to separate them from other people because they don't really know what they are doing and they don't know what they are talking about. Because history is not just written or broadcast, history is made. Our history has already been made. As you can see in this text that is written here, Benin, O Benin, inexhaustible, the Edo Benin, the heart of Nigeria and Africa as a whole. It's not just the heart of Edo or something like that, you know, because people doesn't really understand the mistake they are making when they are distorting the Benin history. The Benin history is Africa history. There's no Yoruba history that make up Africa history. There's no Igbo history that make up Africa history. It is the Benin Empire history that really make up Africa history. For people to understand, even during the independence of Nigeria, when Nigeria was fighting for independence, it was only the Benis and the Hausas, Fulanis, who fought with their full mind, with their full heart for, for the independence of Nigeria. As people may understand, Chief Attorney Inahoro, who fought tirelessly to make sure our people has independence. But today, this is what they are paying us back. The Benin Empire wake up when all other Africa were sleeping. When they were sleeping, selling their people as slaves to other countries. The Benin people went out, went out to the world as far as to Ghana, Benin Republic, Gabon, Togo, St. Tome, and so many other countries went there to give our people freedom, to make sure our people is free. Why Yorubas we are selling their people, you know, for people to really understand the word Yoruba. came with the British. And the British copied this word from the Hausas and the Fulanis, who always describe these people as the Yaribas or the Yariba. This is where the British pick up this name. And now today, or that period, the British were trying to recognize a tribe, the existing tribe, who now make the Yorubas, like the Egbas and others, who people are now calling Yorubas. Everybody calling themselves Yorubas. I would be ashamed to call myself a Yoruba because this is a name given to you people by British or by the Hausas and the Fulanis. A Benin person will not do that. The Benin history is unique for Africa. Go to anywhere in Africa, you find the Benin history. The few Yoruba history you will find is written by the British. Our forefathers, they were educated. They started documenting our history before the nation Yoruba was even given birth to by the British. When we talk of Lagos, people like Daddy Freeze, who is coming out today to start talking rubbish, asking useless questions, I can tell you, such people are not even educated when it comes to history. You think when you bring up people there who can speak English and they come and start talking boldly, saying this and that is just the answer. The answer is quite different from what you are saying. The Lagos you know today was called Eko. Eko was found by a prince or by a Benin Oba. Lagos was then used for expedition. There was nobody there in that area. Nobody was living there in that period. There was no one single person called Yoruba because the word Yoruba was not even existing that time. So this Lagos you are seeing today was a camp, a military camp, the Benin military camp, where the Benin station their people when they are traveling to other nations, to other parts of Africa, freeing our people from the British and other people that is coming colonizing us. When I mean Benin, we are freedom fighters. We were freedom fighters. We fought our people. We give people freedom. In the case of Lagos, Lagos was not conquered. Lagos was originally and biologically Edo Benin. There's no Yoruba man today that can come out to say, oh, we own Lagos, because they never own Lagos. If you are a tenant in the house and you spend 100 years in the house, doesn't make you the owner of the house. It doesn't make you the owner of the house. You remain a tenant. Yorubas are tenants in Lagos, and they should behave that way. A tenant doesn't have the right to tell other tenants to quit. It's only the Benins, the Edos, that can tell other tribes to quit Lagos. The whole traditional institution in Lagos belongs to the Benin people. It's only of recent as people are now coming up to say, I'm Oba, I'm this in Lagos. Who will make you the Oba of Lagos? We only have one Oba of Lagos, just as we have the Oba of Benin. So those people that is arrogating themselves just for useless reasons, we no longer tolerate that. So let us be putting this straight, that the Freeze and his people are just useless and foolish in their head, because anybody that is thinking reasonable will not support any division in any community. We only try to build a community, bring them together to make sure the community remain stable. By dividing people, you are at the same time destabilizing that same area. You are destabilizing that same area. Just because some politicians paid you to be coming out and you are not coming out without even using your sense. You are coming out to be destabilizing a stable state. One of the most secure states in Nigeria. Now we can see what is happening in Lagos. Discrimination. You who is a tenant will be discriminating against other tenants. For what reason? Yoruba has no land in Nigeria. If we want to retalk, Yoruba has no land in Nigeria. Because you said you are from Mecca. How can somebody from the Middle East own land in Africa, own land in Nigeria, not talk less of Lagos? How can you come from Mecca to say you gave birth to Benin? Can't you think well? Can't you think with your head? So it is obvious that these people are illiterate when it comes to history. And as I'm saying, even though God come down from the sky with chain, as they are saying, to tell the Yorubas, shut up your mouth. The Benin owns Lagos. The Benin Empire gave civilization to Yorubas. They will still start arguing with God because they don't want to understand. Because you can see today that why Yorubas cannot rule Nigeria, likewise the Igbos, because of this blindness. They are too blind in their eyes and their hearts to accept certain things. You know? They are so blind. And the Hausas and the Fulani, the Middle Belt, they are using this opportunity. And I'm praising the Hausas and the Fulani of the wisdom they are having. You know? And I can assure you today, if the Benin Empire withdraws from Nigeria, Nigeria will collapse. Nigeria will be without a heart because we are the people keeping Nigeria together. And if you people misuse this opportunity, we are going to be telling you where your boundary is. We know exactly where you came from. If you came from Mecca, you cannot have a land in Nigeria. If you came from Israel, you cannot have a land in Nigeria because Israel is in the Middle East. And likewise, Mecca is in the Middle East. So you cannot have a land in Africa or not in Nigeria. So be mindful and be careful of what we are saying and how you interpret your history. That is not our problem. Our problem is just the way the people come out to say and that the freeze and this and that. Be careful. Don't allow our ancestors to freeze your mouth because if you provoke our ancestors, they are coming to freeze your mouth. Please understand, we are not people with aggressive manner or something like that. We are very cold-headed people, but when the Benin stand up and say enough is enough, and that's really enough is enough. When people talk, they don't reason carefully before they talk. They just come out to start talking because they want to talk. I want you to listen to some of your elders, what they are saying. In Africa history, there's nothing like Yoruba Empire or Igbo Empire. Even the Oyo Empire you people are talking about is written by the British. There was even the empire before the coming of a Benin prince. The Benin prince Ikaladehan gave birth to the civilization in any Yoruba aspect. People call him Ododuwa. People call it different name, but we call him Izoduwa. Kaladehan. You know. So you people to start listening to yourself. Listen to this video. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. Let me see if I can find any of them.
we have a very good, we are the owner of Yoruba. I'm the owner, the Olubu of Ugweti, owner of Yoruba. We are the foundation of Yoruba. The Oduduwa met us at Ife. Now, what, we are celebrating our great-great-grandfather now, because before he left Ife, he had a 7 quarter. Some of his son and daughter, he left them at Ife. And the palace where to enjoy a palace there, which is Ilero, is in Ife. What is tomorrow? Nobody can erase it. And they all came en masse. You see them yesterday, I was overwhelmed. Everybody was so surprised. Even the people that come from Benin, they were so surprised that, people from Ife, they still remember where their father left Ilefa camp, arrived at. So the place was full of, exciting things. I was so happy. That is, they discovered that when their father left, Ife, where he stopped, which is Ugbo, that's why they come. They still recognize that the father has formed another, great kingdom somewhere. We are the one that hold Ife now. Ife, I'm the cabbage of Ife, the Oba of Ife. And they also the Oba of Ilaje here. So you could see me taking 2 sides. I'll be Oba at Ile-Ife, Oba at Igbokoda. One interesting thing, we were in Benin. So the question that I'm asking them now is very simple. Because if you listen to the first extracting book, I say if you are a slave, you cannot be Oba. If you're a bastard, you cannot be Oba in the Yoruba nation. If your father is still living, it's an abomination. You can't be an Oba in the Yoruba nation. 4th one, if you are from female line, you can't be an Oba. So many things. My upcoming book is 25. I put there. When you have this 25, if you fall out of it, you have to quit that seat. That was what is happening. Benin clear it. What I said those days in our syllabus in school, primary school, I was told that it's open to everyone that Lamarudu began Oduduwa, and Oduduwa was the progenitor of Yoruba. Lamarudu come from Mecca. Are you getting my point now? That is the problem. When you come from Mecca, you cannot be the progenitor of Yoruba. Now, when we went to Benin last month, Benin cleared it. Benin said, Oduduwa you are celebrating in Ife is their son. Are you getting the point? We want to know their father. Whether it was Benin, they come from Benin, or Mecca. That is the question that, I'm waiting for them to answer. Talking another thing, they are talking rubbish. Are you getting the point? So that was exactly what happened. Benin was claiming Oduduwa is their son. What we heard those days, what they are celebrating, that they come from Mecca, Lamrodo, the son of Lamrodo. And when you ask anybody from Ife now, they say they are not from Ife. They are not from Saudi, they are from Ife. We see that comparison. So that is the thing is clear. You have to answer that question to Yorubas, because they've misled a lot of people in Yoruba nation. And that's what I'm trying to correct now. I've corrected it.
Yeah, did you hear that? Sorry, I have to laugh. I have to laugh, I have to laugh because there are so many people who are very, very so illiterate when it comes to history. People like that Freeze and others that is coming out and they start saying this and that. Lagos is this, Lagos is that. You know, you that was given birth to yesterday, you are now telling us that you are now the owner of this. Now, if you are a Lamorodu, in the first case, where as the His Highness just pointed out, you cannot be the father of any nation in Africa. And the name Lamorodu When you go to Saudi Arabia today, go to Mecca, go to anywhere, ask and say the word Lamorodu, nobody will know that word. Even the meaning has no meaning in Arabic. So people should understand when you are lying, when you lie, you have to lie perfectly. Even though you lie perfectly, people will still discover it that you are lying. So I would advise for some of our Yoruba people before you come out online to start propagating nuisance, go back to school. Go back to school and allow your teachers to teach you history from the beginning. You know, the history always start from the beginning, not from the middle or close to the end. You know, if you don't want to understand, I still have a lot here from the Oba of Lagos, from so many of them, you know, who will clarify you. Okay, even the Yoruba, the so-called Yoruba people acknowledged that the Benin Empire was one of its kind in the whole of Africa. Listen very carefully. I want to show you. This is another Yoruba monarch that is talking late, the last great grandson of Oromia. Just listen.
When the British came into Benin, they met what they never bargained for. They met a culture of civility, a culture and an orderly government. They met wonderful heart, and the antifact they met that we are in some cases superior to what they had in their own country. And they became peeved and jealous to the extent that they made up their mind that that kingdom would never survive. They went back, and then when they wanted to see the Oba of Benin briefly, they said the Oba was not prepared to receive them. They became annoyed, went back to reorganize an invasion of that empire and the monarchy. What they did was to wipe out entirely the system, and if possible that system would never survive. But the people fought with their lives. And during that exercise, the Anoba, the environment, was captured and exiled to Calabar, where he died. Everything they made, every effort they made to wipe out the system failed because of the intrinsic viability of that culture. It is an enduring culture, and that made the African race to be very proud of the Benin Empire. That the try that they made, this culture survive, and the system of succession and the system of government, the monarchy, survive up to today, is to the glory and to the fact that that system has intrinsic viability that made it to be resilient against outside invasion and outside interpolation.
Yeah, this is another monarch, and we have so many of them, coming out to talk about the Benin Empire, but none of them is talking about any of your empire or Ife Empire or Kingdom or something like that, or Yoruba Empire or Kingdom. So before you go out online, make your research. Make your research. And not just coming out online with microphone and start broadcasting, talking rubbish, you know, insulting people you are not supposed to be insulting. My play with these people of Yoruba, go back to your monarchs. Allow them to teach you your history. Don't behave like the Oni of Ife who claim everything belongs to them, who you don't even know where he came from. So these are people who owns the land, and they are talking because the Oni title Oni is a political title. It's not even an Oba title, to say the fact. So these are people now who are talking truth, talking sense. These are Yoruba monarchs, well-respected Yoruba monarchs. The system the British made in the Benin Empire, the system that was operating, the, the federal system, I can call it federal system, that they were operating, made them to be path. In this federation, Lagos was one of them. So many African nations today were one of them. If you go to the Voltas region of Ghana, was one of them. Togo was one of them. Republic of Benin or Benin Republic was one of them. Sao Tome was one of them. There are so many uncountable. Not to talk of Nigeria. Within Nigeria there, the whole of now called South were under the federal system of the Benin Empire. Places like Ondo, Ekiti, part of Oyo, were under the Benin Empire. Rivers, Bayase, and so many of them were under the Benin Empire. Please explain to us where did the empire, Yoruba Empire came from? How did they exist? Where did they govern upon? Which of these people? Explain to us, please. When the British gave you people the name Yoruba, you people should have been reasoning to understand, put down the history. Because now, not these people now that are even making these mistakes. The British went further. They went further, going to places like Brazil, like Jamaica, Barbados, Antigua, and so many areas where the British were telling people, oh, you are Igbo, you are Yorubas, you are this. Knowingly, these people will try to find their way back home. Because these people now calling themselves Yoruba, there wasn't a tribe called Yoruba at that period. So how come these people are now saying they are Yorubas? You can see the blackmailing and the brainwashing of the British people and the Yoruba itself, who are helping them to promote all these things. If you don't believe, I will play you a video, if I find it, about the Oba of Lagos. The Oba of Lagos, where he was saying this, maybe in my next broadcast, if I find the video, where he was saying this, you don't have to be coming out just because you want people to view your broadcast or send you money on your broadcast. You need to come out when you say the truth, say something about Africa. Because the Benin Empire will stand for freedom, we stand for humanity. This is the only African empire that come out to be fighting for the freedom of our people. We lost our fathers, great-grandfathers, fighting for your freedom, that you will be free. Why do you think the British or the world powers came to Benin Empire, to invade Benin Empire? Number one reason, because there was no longer slavery in Yoruba land. They sold all their children out. The one the Beninese could protect were under the Benin Protectorate. And this is what gave or what led to this invasion, most especially because the Beninese, they refused to sell our people into slavery. And it was a law. Nobody, no Edo person, no Benin person go to slavery. But the British, they were passing, using the Yorubas into Benin land, using the Izo or the Ijo people, capturing some of our people to slavery. We need to be saying things as things really is, you know, because we know today in so many African lands, somewhere like Sierra Leone and others, that these people are really, they are not Igbos as they are saying. It doesn't even have Igbo connection. So many of the Igbos were taken to America, you know, direct. And when people are coming out today, like that, the freeze and all that, to start saying rubbish, you forgot the freedom you are enjoying today. The free air you are breathing today in Africa. Our forefathers, the Benin, fought for it. They fought for it. The system, the government system in Lagos, the traditional government system in Lagos today, is a system invented by the Benin, not by the Yorubas. None of these kings will come out to say something about the Yoruba system of government. There was nothing like that. There were villages. You know? We were already civilized. Our prince, great prince, Ikaladehan, brought civilization to that land. And this is how you people are paying us back for civilizing you. You know, we were already civilized before the British came, before the Portuguese even came. You know, Eko, Lagos. Eko was Lagos. There was no some name called Lagos before the Portuguese came. How did they name this Lagos? You know, because in Portugal, there's also a state or a city called Lagos. And this city is a lagoon, you know, Lagos, you know. And this is how the Portuguese also named Eko as Lagos. Because the resemblance to their own was very close. You know, they call it then Lagos, which meaning of lagoon, you know. And if you Lagos is not only in Nigeria. If you go to Brazil, there's also a Lagos. And if you go there, you will know why it is called Lagos. You know, the Lagos you know today is not the Lagos of yesterday. You know, because the Benin, they endure. If they know you are in Africa, you are a black man, they endure you. They allow you to stay in their land. They allow you to do business in their land. They give you everything as a human being, the freedom, humanity, everything you want. But people are now misusing all these things. You know? And it is a pity because the system is going to be changing gradually because we are going to be changing things gradually. You know, just as the Yorubas are now doing and they're calling everything that doesn't belong to them belongs to them. We are going to be doing our own. As if people are doing our own. And let's see how people will come living together. You know, that the Freeze and his people should go out and correct those history. They should come out and have a debate with the Benin, with our historians, and let's see where they will stand. You know, there's so many evidence that people will just clear upside and say, oh, this is not, it's Lagos, Eko was this, they met a Yoruba man when they came first. You forgot when before the Portuguese came to meet a Yoruba man, Lagos, Eko was already existing more than 100 years before then. So it might be they met somebody who was not even Yoruba because the British brought the word Yoruba. So you cannot just automatically now group that person as a Yoruba person. You know? They are worries you are claiming today. They are worried that set of people that left the Benin Empire with Kaladeran, the Benin prince, to Ife, who later expanded from Ife to Lagos, followed the Benin also to Lagos because they know their brothers, they can accommodate them. And they accommodate them. You know? Don't start coming as claiming our worries are Yorubas, this and that. Our worries, they speak pure Benin, pure Edo language, mixed with Yoruba for your understanding. You know, before you start claiming what doesn't belong to you, you have to find the truth. You have to make sure prepare yourself and reason very carefully. Because it's not because people now speak, more people speak Yorubas, that really they are Yorubas. No, they are not Yorubas. If we have to calculate very well. The population of Yoruba doesn't even more than 10 million. Because these are other tribes that was grouped as Yoruba who are not even Yorubas, that are pushed into the Yoruba community, forced into that community, just like the Igbos. If I were to be an Igbo person today, I will look for my origin, my real original origin. That is what the Yoruba should do exactly before they start claiming others people's property, claiming others people's land. Go to your people, your monarchs, and search for your real origin and abolish that name Yoruba. Abolish that name Yoruba. The Benin people, we never impose anything on anybody. We never impose themselves on anybody. We have seen recent years people come to Benin to say we are from the Benin Empire. Our forefather left the Benin Empire so and so years, and we settled in those areas today. And we are these people. They come to Benin Empire, and we welcome them with our open arms because we know, people always say blood is thicker than water. When you see a Benin man in Europe, you will understand what I'm talking about. Before the Benin started traveling to Europe, there were some Igbos here, they were Yorubas. We know what we saw when we came, and we know how we changed the system when we came. The system we made here was not good for a black man. But the Benin, the Edo people, ask today. The Edo people came out and they started changing the system. When Igbo man is talking today in Europe and say, wow, this is the help of the Benin. We met Igbo here, some Igbos here, who were students. Some were working in companies under their, what the Europeans say, unter meine Gürtellinie, or what the Dutch always say. That means they were more qualified than the job they were doing. We changed the system to make them to understand we are the same human being like you. If he study here, he has the same right to come out and work in the same level. So I'm very proud of my people because the Beninese, they are when they say they want to do something, they do it perfectly. Although there's also some dark side of it, but the positive side of it, of the Beninese in Europe, is overwhelming. I can tell you that. The Beninese were also standing in the gap here in Europe to protect all these people. But today, when you see them talking blah, 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 you will understand these people doesn't have manner. This is exactly the same thing they are doing in Nigeria. When you say you are Lamorodun, Lamorodun is from Mecca, and nobody knows Lamorodun in Mecca. The Lamorodun has no meaning in Mecca. Now, if you come from Saudi Arabia, how can you give back to Benin? How can you own a land in Africa? These are the questions you need to answer. Not to talk of Lagos. We accept that two people are now living in Lagos, because we enjoy people, we give people freedom. We don't, unless you misbehave, that is why we will come out. And as you people are now misbehaving, that is why we are also coming out to tell you, look, You are also a tenant too. Spending 100 years in a house doesn't make you a landlord though. Be careful, you know. And there was a situation I saw in Arise TV the other day when there was an interview, because I wanted to copy the video, but the time was not on my side. That's why I decided to leave that, you know. When this person there corrected somebody to tell him, look, you came from somewhere to contest as a senator or some in the House of Assembly or something like that in Lagos. Doesn't make you to be a Lagosian, you know. And exactly, he was very right, very correct. And that is exactly the same thing that people are doing today. That the freeze I'm telling you today, you are a tenant in Lagos. Likewise, your co-host, all of you are a tenant in Lagos. Spending a lot of time in Lagos doesn't make you to be a Lagosian. The Igbos that is living in Lagos have the same right as you, because they are also a tenant as you are a tenant. You doesn't have the right to decide who will now be a landlord there, who can be a tenant. You doesn't have that right. If you want to cut cost division, then go to Ife and cost division. Go to the Yoruba land and cost division. Go to Igbo land and cost division, but not in the Benin, not in the land of Benin, the land of my forefather. I will have a way to end that division. The Beninese are trustworthy people. They are not. Yeah, the British said that the Yorubas, they are corny people. They don't. Nobody respect them for that. You know? So why do you think the British didn't give the leadership of Nigeria to Yoruba people or to Igbo person? Because they know exactly whom they are. Because they know if they gave them the leadership, Nigeria will not survive. You know? That's why the leadership of Nigeria was given to Hausa man, to Fulani man. And they recognize the role the Edo people, the Benin people, the Esan people play in giving birth to Nigeria today. In Nigeria, you are not shouting, we own Nigeria, we own Nigeria. Where were you when we were fighting for the independence? You people were hiding. You were shitting on the gutters of Lagos. You know, you were shitting in the gutters of Ile-Ife. So you people should mind the way you talk. If not the Benin today, you will still be shitting on the gutters. So everybody has to be very, 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 very careful when they are coming out to talk. When the British came, they saw something in Lagos they didn't see in any other place. That's why they settled in Lagos. Lagos was shining, you know. But when the Yoruba people came to Lagos, they started shitting on the gutter. They started doing all sorts of rubbish. That's why Lagos is smelly today. You know? Do you think when Lagos is smelling that the British they will sit down in Lagos? No. There was a man I met when I was walking. He told me he came from Nigeria 2 weeks ago. He's a white man, he's an Australian. And we were discussing, and we were also talking about the environment in Nigeria. We talk about Abuja, that Abuja is very clean and very good and others. Then we come to the topic of Lagos, you know. So I said, how did you find Lagos? He said, well. I said, okay. For me, I cannot stay in Lagos. He said, why? He said, for me, Lagos is smelling. Lagos is smelling. He said, You know, he told me, I didn't want to say that, not to offend you. But it is just like that. I spent one day in Lagos, and everywhere I visited in Lagos was smelling. I have to leave back to Abuja again. I said, yes. But Lagos was not like that before. Lagos was also clean before, but now the people living there, they make uh, nothing out of Lagos. But today again, Lagos is developing, it's coming up, cleaning up. Now you people are coming again to start making division because it doesn't like the development in Lagos. Lagos is one of the highly rated state in Africa. It's the number one in Africa economically. You know, so when you now come with division, do you think Lagos will start growing? Then when you start Igbos and Yoruba start fighting, do you think Lagos will grow again? No, it won't grow. And the Benin will not tolerate that. Because Lagos is a protectorate of the Benin. We owns the Benin, the Monica, the system of government they're having today, and everything originated from Benin Empire. So if you want to own a state, build your own state. Don't start claiming what doesn't belong to you. There is no part of the Benin Empire that belongs to Yoruba. Like the Oni of Ife is arrogating, going to Warri and start telling them, oh, we owns you, we owns you. You owns nothing. The British owns you. And Hafsama will not go to Kataham house and start complaining. It's only Yorubas and Igbos that are doing that. The caretaking cars, the caretakers of Nigeria, they are the Fulani and the Hausas and the Edo people. And if the Benis leave Nigeria today, there will be no Nigeria of tomorrow. So be mindful and be very careful. You think when we keep quiet as we doesn't know what we are doing. Because we are very peaceful people. We don't brag. When we say we want to do something, we do it. This is the manner of the Edo people. And mind yourself. So thank you very much for joining me. And before I go, let me just play this once again for you people to understand really. And for some of our hate mongers.
When the British came into Benin, they met what they never bargained for. They met a culture of civility, a culture and an orderly government. They met wonderful heart, and the anti-fact they met that we are in some cases superior to what they had in their own country. And they became peeved and jealous to the extent that they made up their mind that that kingdom would never survive. They went back, and then when they wanted to see the Oba of Benin briefly, they said the Oba was not prepared to receive them. They became annoyed, went back to reorganize an invasion of that empire and the monarchy. What they did was to wipe out entirely the system, and if possible that system would never survive. But the people fought with their lives. And during that exercise, the Anoba, the Everami, was captured and exiled to Calabar, where he died. Everything they made, every effort they made to wipe out the system failed because of the intrinsic viability of that culture. It is an enduring culture, and that made the African race to be very proud of the Benin Empire. That the tried that they made, this culture survived, and the system of succession and the system of government, the monarchy, survive up to today. Is to the glory and to the fact that that system has intrinsic viability that made it to be resilient against outside invasion and outside interpolation.
Yeah, I think the Yorubas will now understand the culture of the Benin is very, very, very strong. Nobody can destroy it. They can try anything you want to try. You can't destroy it. We are like seeds. We throw it off. You think everything is over. But when the rain falls, they regenerate. And this is what is going to happen in Lagos very soon. We will see all these bigots that is arrogating right now. You will see them tomorrow. They will be dying down. They will be pleading for help. And they are going to suffer for it. It was even the Yorubas that helped the British to destroy the Benin Empire. They helped the British knowingly. And they know the British were using them, but they helped the British to destroy the Benin Empire. You know? And today they are crying. Oh, only the Hausas and the Yorubas are ruling, and the Fulanis are ruling Nigeria. You know, can't you understand? I believe you people should understand why this is happening to you. If care is not taken, Tinubu may not ascend the throne, may not even be the president of Nigeria if care is not taken. If care is not taken, Obi cannot be a president of Nigeria. Because Nigeria should be ruled from people with dignity, with people with humanity, people with heart, people who know what freedom is. You know? Because during the Mohammed Buhari, or the present president Mohammed Buhari, few people call him all sort of names. You're trying to overthrow him through all sort of mix. You know, calling him is from Sudan. The Yoruba nation was calling him all sort of names. The IPOB doing the same. You know, but today, when in Europe, you know, I'm sorry, I have to laugh a little bit. There was when Tinubu was elected to be the president of us, the next president of Nigeria. The newspapers here, they wrote something. Drug baron elected as president of Nigeria. Drug traffickers elected as president of Nigeria. A no drug dealer elected as a president of Nigeria. You know, so some of our Igbos and Yoruba in the WhatsApp group I was in, they just come up, start vibrating. Why the European Union, they're always like that, they're always this. And I just started laughing. I said, okay, let me just reply them. I said, what were you people calling Buhari? You know, do you think it will end that way? Do you think people are sleeping? They didn't know what people were doing. Now you wait for it. Wait for it, what people will be calling Tinubu when it comes to power. When it's not dancing them to their tune. Because Buhari didn't dance to any of your tune. He was straightforward. You know, it would be difficult to have a government or to have a president like Buhari. I'm not his fan, but the way he managed Nigeria in that period, you will understand is a person of wisdom. Otherwise, we should be having a second war. You know, people will not understand that. When you people were dancing on the street, demonstrating your weapons as you people own Nigeria, you were insulting people who owns Nigeria, because it is only the Benins and the Hausas and that can really claim the ownership of Nigeria. There's no other ethnic group in Nigeria that can do that. So be very, very careful what you wish for, you know, and what you are saying, because it will affect you tomorrow. You know, it will affect you tomorrow, and this is going to be affecting some people like that the Freeze tomorrow, because we are now telling you you are a tenant, just like all other Yorubas in Lagos. Because we endorse you there to be living there, to be taking part in the political system, doesn't make you the ownership of Lagos. The ownership of Lagos are the Benin, the Edo people. the kingship system, the tradition is from Benin. Understand that, and you will be free. So thank you, and I have enough, and I hope to meet you people or see you people very soon. And if you like what I'm doing, this the Benin Empire Advancement League is an organization for all the Beninese, whether you are Robo, Isoko, or whatever uh, part you came from the Benin Empire. We will welcome you open-handedly. We will open our arms to welcome you to be one of us. And the only requirement you need is how to respect people. Hardworking person, selfless person who will come do something for other people without demanding money and others. That is the only thing that is the requirement. All others, be a Benin person, say what you think. Nobody will harm you for it. So thank you, and God bless you. Bye bye.